Hello, and welcome to Advariad's bite-sized session on ketamine. We will look at what ketamine is, its effects, and the potential risks in mental health. First developed in the 1960s as a fast-acting anaesthetic for surgery named ketamine, it quickly became a go-to anaesthetic on battlefields due to its ability to reduce pain and induce dissociation, separating the mind from the body without fully sedating them. Its dissociative properties made ketamine an effective temporary escape from pain. It was seen as a safer alternative to other anaesthetics such as phencyclidine, PCP, which had stronger, more toxic effects. Over time, ketamine made its way from operating rooms to the clubs. What was once used for battlefield and medical purposes is now a widely used recreational drug, and in the last 10 years, the number of users has tripled. It's estimated that around 250,000 people now use ketamine regularly, with over half of UK clubbers having tried it. Particularly worrying is the increase in use among younger age groups. Usage in the 16 to 24 age bracket has tripled in recent years. But what makes ketamine so attractive to the recreational scene? Let's break down its effects and the reasons behind its rising popularity. Cheap, easily accessible, and increasingly popular, ketamine is now a common feature in party scenes, particularly as a dissociative drug. But what exactly does this mean? Ketamine belongs to a class of drugs known as dissociatives. These drugs cause dissociation, a separation from your environment, body, and mind. When taken, ketamine blocks a type of glutamate receptor called NMDA, which is essential for learning, memory, and perception. This leads to a distorted sense of time, reality, space, and sensory experiences. Glutamate helps regulate our perceptions, our memory, and our emotions. Ketamine can also have an impact on our GABA receptors, which are responsible for regulating fear and anxiety. It disrupts communication between brain and body, reducing motor control and pain signaling. Glutamate, a vital neurotransmitter chemical, helps regulate information processing and overall communications between the various regions of the brain and the body. Ketamine alters neurotransmitter processes. It can block glutamate production and shuts off communication between the brain and the body, reducing motor control and pain signaling. Originally used in hospitals for its anaesthetic properties, it's now available as a powder or liquid and is commonly snorted or injected. Powdered ketamine tends to be snorted, and this is often referred to as a bump. Its cost is fairly cheap, at around £20 a gram. Dissociation can range from a mild floaty feeling to what users call a K-hole. The K-hole is one of the most intense experiences associated with ketamine use. At this stage, users may feel as though their mind has left their body. They may lose the ability to speak or move, experiencing what some call ego death, where their sense of self completely disappears. This state can be fascinating and even spiritual for some, but terrifying and disorienting for others, as they lose all sense of identity. Some individuals may continue to feel disconnected from the world around them and from their life, and may even develop ongoing symptoms of psychosis. From the outside, someone in a K-hole may look immobile, intoxicated, or even unconscious. They may have difficulty moving, speaking, or interacting with the world around them. Imagine being fully awake but unable to communicate or move, your body detached from your mind with your sense of reality blurred. The effects of ketamine are not limited to dissociation. Ketamine use, particularly over time, can have serious physical and mental consequences. Short-term effects include confusion, hallucinations, slurred speech, difficulty breathing, and in extreme cases, unconsciousness. Other effects of ketamine use can include dilated pupils, elevated blood pressure, increased heart rate, increased salivation, tear secretion, involuntary rapid eye movements, and muscle spasms. Long-term use can result in more severe issues. This can often go along with feelings of paranoia, grandiose delusions, and fragmentation of the personality. One of the most common is ketamine bladder, or ulcerative cystitis, a condition that leads to frequent and painful urination. In some extreme cases, the bladder can become so damaged that users have had to have it removed entirely. The bladder is a round sac behind your pelvic bone, which is about the size of a grapefruit. On entering the bladder, ketamine and its metabolites damage the epithelial cells of the bladder. These are umbrella-shaped cells which contain the urine. When damaged, the urine seeps through, causing more damage. Over time, the bladder can shrink, causing severe pain and incontinence. An average healthy bladder may contain as much as 500 millilitres of liquid. However, a bladder damaged by ketamine can only hold 50 millilitres or less. In severe cases, people may need catheters to drain their urine, or in extreme situations, have their bladders surgically removed. Ketamine bladder is more dominant in young adults, and females tend to develop the symptoms earlier than males. Daily use of ketamine can induce some of these symptoms within 3 months. Some statistics suggest that a third of regular users will develop bladder problems, and in 1 in 2 out of these 3 cases, the symptoms will remain even after the individuals have stopped using ketamine. Frequent use can also cause kidney dysfunction, known as K cramps, where users experience severe abdominal pain. And let's not forget the impact on the brain. Chronic use can lead to memory problems, depression, anxiety, and even psychosis. Another drug being sold as a ketamine substitute is methoxetamine, or Mexi. This is often sold as a white or off-white, beige or yellow powder. However, it can also come in capsules or liquid form. Mexi is also snorted, swallowed, or injected. It is slow-acting, but more potent and longer-lasting than ketamine. Mexi still causes effects with the bladder. The effects of Mexi can be increased heart rate, feelings of euphoria, panic attacks, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and visual and other perceptual distortions, such as hallucinations. Mixing ketamine with other substances significantly increases the risks. Combining ketamine with depressants, such as alcohol or benzodiazepines, becomes even more hazardous. Its anesthetic and sedative properties make it dangerous to mix with depressants, or opiates in particular. This can lead to blackouts, unconsciousness, or even death. When taken with stimulants like cocaine, a combination often referred to as Calvin Klein or CK, the effects on the heart and the brain can be deadly. Negative effects of using ketamine mixed with cocaine can include violent behaviours, psychotic reactions, heart problems, high blood pressure, strokes, and other neurological complications. Mixing ketamine with stimulants or psychedelic drugs increases the chance of the user suffering a heart attack. Most hospital admissions are caused by combining these drugs. The body is caught in a tug of war. Cocaine speeds up the brain and central nervous system, while ketamine slows it down. The result? A chaotic and often dangerous internal battle that can cause violent behaviour, psychotic reactions, and heart complications. Let's look at ketamine and spiking. This is when people have either added alcohol or drugs to your drinks, jabbed you with a syringe, or more rarely, contaminated cigarettes or vapes without you knowing. Spiking is illegal and carries a prison sentence of up to 10 years. Ketamine has been associated with a number of spiking incidents due to its paralysis effects. Its effects, when combined with alcohol, can lead to increased vulnerability. The effects can be unpredictable. Some of these effects can be dizziness, lightheadedness, lack of coordination, feeling unsettled and panicky, or maybe you just feel drunk very quickly. Anyone can be targeted, so make sure you look after yourself, your friends, and your drinks. Ketamine overdose. Ketamine overdose can have symptoms that can affect mental and physical functioning. Death by ketamine overdose rarely occurs if ketamine is the only drug. However, combined with alcohol, there is an increased risk of the overdose being fatal. If someone is using ketamine, there are signs to watch out for. Sedation, slurred speech, and a trance-like state are common indicators. As use becomes more frequent, individuals may withdraw from family and friends, experience mood swings, or have trouble at work or school. Ketamine addiction can develop quickly and is characterized by an increasing tolerance and the need for larger amounts. Users find themselves compulsively redosing to maintain the high. Tolerance builds rapidly, meaning that they need more and more of the drug to achieve the same effects. Users may face severe financial, social, and psychological consequences. If you or someone you know uses ketamine, it's essential to understand harm reduction strategies. Start low, go slow. Avoid using ketamine alone. Avoid eating for 2 hours before ketamine. This reduces the risk of vomiting. Crush the powder properly before snorting. Snorting can cause damage to the nose. Try and take breaks. Snort higher up your nose and flush it with clean water afterwards. Have someone sober, a trip sitter with you, just in case of emergency. And most importantly, avoid mixing ketamine with alcohol or other drugs. Do not use banknotes to snort. Have your own snorting device and don't share this with your friends. Prevent BBVs. Ketamine can be a complex and dangerous drug. While it may offer temporary feelings of euphoria or dissociation, the long-term risks, both physical and psychological, are real. Be informed, stay safe, and remember, help is available. Ketamine may have some medical benefits, but its use can lead to serious complications, addiction, and long-term damage. If you or someone you know is struggling with ketamine use, there are resources available. Diolch. Thank you for watching this bite-sized film on ketamine. Please look out for further bite-sized production from Adferiad.